To all the beautiful women of the world, this is for you. You look so wonderful, I feel so marvelous, 'cause you're so beautiful, it's you I wanna be with. I've been walking around every day and I think I found that one. She's so pretty, shake it, girl, come on, let's have some fun. I had to close and open my eyes to make sure that this is real. Take my hand, baby, let me show you how I feel. If my heart had the nerve, it would tell you how I'm feeling inside. If my lips had the nerve, they would tell you I want you to be my bride, 'cause you're so wonderful. I feel so marvelous, 'cause you're so beautiful. It's you I wanna be with. We're in the movies and in the clubs, and you're always number one. Love put us together, and we're always having fun. People say we're the life of the party, and the show must go on. Let me take your hand in marriage, 'cause our lives have just begun. Every time I kiss you, I get dizzy. Every time I'm with you, we get busy. 'Cause you're so wonderful, I feel so marvelous. 'Cause you're so beautiful, it's you I wanna be with. If my heart had the nerve, it would tell you how I'm feeling inside. If my lips had the nerve, they would tell you I want you to be my bride, 'cause you're so wonderful. I feel so marvelous, 'cause you're so beautiful. It's you I wanna be with.
Well, welcome to our first show. Co-host, very, very good longtime friend, Alphonse Franklin.
How you doing, John?
If you didn't notice, he can sing. Big history. He has graciously accepted my invitation to come up. Well, you've been here a few days. We went out to dinner at Harris. Actually saw a show, and the show was fantastic. The Tenors of Rock. I was kind of surprised at just how well those guys rocked the stage.
Yeah, it was a great show.
But I want to thank you, my friend. It's like yin and yang here. I mean, look at it. I'm not a host. Maybe I'll find one. But yeah, the new show is in the Elvis Booth. This is the original booth from the Pepper Mill that Elvis used to hang out when he'd leave the show at the Hilton after the show and want to relax and cool out.
And if he was here, would say thank you very much.
Yeah. I acquired it, and it just seemed fitting. So we're going to talk about entertainment. We're going to talk about music, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, friendships, and what the inside story is. That was your new song.
Yes. It's called So Wonderful. I wrote that song maybe about 15 years ago. Just came to me, and I was thinking about my baby, and I had to put it down on wax. So there it is.
Your lovely wife is unbelievable. You need someone strong like that, because keeping you in line's got to be an everyday job.
And lifting them grocery bags help out too. She's a strong one.
Well, you're feeling better, right?
Yes,
had a little bout with the kidney stones.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with those myself.
But you got to remember, I'm a miracle. So that's what happened to me. I feel much better.
Well, it's a miracle I pulled this off. And every time you're in town, I want you to come in. If we're shooting on Friday, you're my co-host.
Cool.
Well, hopefully, I'm gonna make a shout out to the tenors.
Okay.
And see if we can get them on the show.
Yeah.
Unique and very unique story they gave us on stage.
Yeah.
If you people get a chance, go see it. I'm not big plugging for Harris, but it's a great old showroom, probably one of the last ones in town. The acoustics are fantastic. But these guys, they put on a hell of a show.
And if any of you guys from the show is looking at this show, I was sitting right up front. I'm the former lead singer of the Miracles, and I have my good friend here, John Grip, and we were checking you out, and you did a phenomenal job, and I would recommend your show to anybody. Just wanted to let you know.
So with that, I didn't lay out any script for this thing. It's going to be all ad lib.
Not even bottled water.
Well, would you like some bottled water?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Is it coming out of theater near me?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess I'll get one then.
Well, see, we don't have any help.
Okay.
But it's out in the refrigerator.
Right.
In fact, I think we have one in the studio here. All right, history. How long you started singing when you were a kid, weren't you?
I started singing maybe, I'm trying to think back as far as 8 years old. And I used to sing around the house with my mother. My mother used to hum all the time. She never would open her mouth and start belting out words. She'd just hum everything. And so I would hum with her. And I started listening to the radio at a young age. And you can pass me that water, sweetheart. Thank you. And I would sing with her, and I started singing some of the songs that was on the radio. And as a little kid, Jingle Bells and This Christmas. Most of the time, it was at Christmas time. And she would have the company come over, and I would sing the Christmas songs at Christmas Eve.
Do the show.
Yeah, and the Nat King Cole song, Christmas song.
Yeah.
And
Nat King Cole. Good music.
That's how I started. And then I got a little older, and pretty much everything on TV were musicals back then. Elvis Presley and Lil Abner and, Guys and Dolls. And it was musical, Singing in the Rain. There was so many musicals, and I just love music and people singing. So I imitated a lot of them when I was younger, and Elvis too, And that's pretty much how I started singing. And as I got like 14 years old, I formed a group with my cousin. They had a group, but they wasn't doing anything. They was always singing on corners and hallways. And I come along, and they heard me sing, and they wanted to put me in the group. And I told them, well, only songs I know is The Miracles, because those are the only songs we had in our house from my big brother. He used to buy them all the time. And I started singing, and we did talent shows, and I got them off the corners. I would call clubs at 14 years old, booking us, say that's how much I wanted to sing. I didn't want to sing on corners, I would call the clubs and tell them I got a singing group and we can sing, and can we come down and audition? And the great thing about when I was growing up, there were a lot of talent shows everywhere. Everywhere you went, it wasn't just like on TV with America's Got Talent, The Voice. Wasn't none of that kind of crap out. There was talent shows in high school, talent shows in lounges, talent shows everywhere in social centers, So you had a good chance of getting noticed back then, And a lot of our singers back then grew up singing from church. I sung in church too. And that's how you get that melody in your voice from singing with the choir,
Elvis
for the
was the same
groups
way.
and stuff. Yeah.
But he also, one of his first shows was at the Talent at high school.
Yeah.
Where he got up and played the guitar.
Yeah.
And
right, I remember that.
Yeah.
And it taps into your soul when you're singing in harmony with other people. And I found that out at a young age, and after I got a little older, I formed my own group with those guys, and we were called 4 Stories High, because there was 4 of us, and, the building we lived in, went up to like the 17th floor, so we picked the 4th. So there was 4 of us, and we were pretty much a tribute act for everybody, all the groups. and I was singing all the songs from guys who sung tenor because I had a high voice. Lil Anthony, Frankie Lyman, Nolan Strong, Smokey Robinson, and that continued to today. And they influenced me, and other singers, I would watch how they sing and how they move people, and I would steal a little of that, and put it inside of me. And so later on, like 2007, to get a little further in the story, my life is like a Cinderella story. I emulated Smokey Robinson and the Miracles for years. And in 2007, I had a manager when I was a tribute artist to Smokey Robinson. And he got me tickets to go see Smokey at Country Club Hills Theater in Chicago. And after the show, we went back and meted and greeted. I took pictures with him, and I told him he owed me some child support. And because everybody told me we look alike and we sound alike.
Oh, you do sound, you've got the voice down.
And so I was cracking jokes with him, and we took the picture. Everybody else in there, they had to take group pictures because there were so many people. And my manager said, man, look, this guy's been singing your music forever. Take a picture with him by himself. So we took this picture. I gave him my card. 2 months later, the Miracles emailed me and asked me, was I interested in being their lead singer? Now, that was a miracle in my life, and it was a miracle, too, because my whole life is like Smokey trained me, because I listened to his music and sung it over and over and over. So it was like he was there training me to sing like him, to be in the group, and for some strange reason, as when I was in my 20s up, we started looking alike. It was kind of weird. It's like a Cinderella story. And today I'm still singing. And I've been doing a lot of shows in California lately. I've done shows here in Vegas for Sherry Gordy. And I've been hanging out with my good friend here, Grip, from time to time when I show up here. And I got a new agent. His name is Ray Apodaca. And he has an entertainment company in San Bernardino. It's called YourEntertainmentSolution.net. And he has a lot of great bands and acts there. And we're going to see what we can do.
A lot of tribute?
No.
Artists?
No.
Okay.
No. He does, well, he's done work with Kool and the Gang.
Okay.
And,
you know what I mean, though.
He's done work with Billy Joel.
One in one vein.
Yeah, he's done Billy Joel. He's worked with a lot of Lionel Richie, so. And I come out here this week because I love Vegas. And
you do come out a lot.
I love singing. And I've been doing it since I was a kid. And I found out one thing about singing, John, is that it soothes your soul. It keeps me young looking and young feeling. And this is why I do. A lot of people take cigarettes, drugs, alcohol when they go through stuff. When I go through anything, I just start humming a song like my mother used to do. And I feel a lot better. So that's what I would suggest to anybody who feels down right now. And for the entertainers out there who sing, you don't have to be going into a studio somewhere and rehearse to feel good. You can just sing all the time and it'll soothe your soul. And it's good for other people around you because it's a positive energy and they feel it. Ain't that right, ladies?
Now, question. When you and Smokey talked,
yeah,
did he give you any advice? I mean, had he heard you before?
No.
Had anybody told him about you before?
That I wouldn't know.
All right, so this was like a first. That was a first meeting.
I met him 3 times in my life. The first time I met him when I grew up in Chicago. I've been living in California for 4 years now. But in Chicago, I think I'm guessing maybe I was like 21. And I called a radio station. You know how they had a little contest, first caller or whatever, 13 caller. And I called in and I won, $103. The station was 103. So I won $103 and I had to go down there to go get it, And I got there and Smokey was there. He was in town for some show he was doing. And I had a big natural then and he did too. So he complimented me on my hair and he shook my hand. And that was the first time I met him. Didn't have anything to do with singing or anything. It's just so a weird coincidence we met at that time. The second time was it was at a church this girl had invited me to come to her church, and he was there speaking about his book that he had out and how he was on drugs back in the day and how he conquered it, and him and Isaac Kennedy was working together. He's a preacher now, Isaac Kennedy, and how he changed his life because he knew that the voice that God gave him was a gift and he didn't want to blow it. And I feel that way too. I feel like if God give you a gift, it's for you to share. And I think he give us, all of us, more than one gift, so you can pick the one that you think that you can handle. And that's what I did. I picked the singing because I can do a lot of other stuff too. I draw. I used to cut hair. I was a barber. I've drove trucks. I've done everything. So today, well, in 2007, I met Smokey for the third time. And that's when, you know, the manager had took me there, and we meted and greeted, and it changed my life. Because when I got the email asking me, was I interested in being a miracle, I thought it was some kind of a joke or a prank, because everybody know I sing like Smokey. And I called him and checked it out, and it was the real deal. They flew me into Detroit. I rehearsed, and I did some shows with them in Canada, Detroit, and a few other places. And the other guy came back. I was taking his place, and so I stepped down. But I was there with the last original miracle, which was Bobby Rogers, and he passed away. And so now I'm still out here singing, and Smokey's still singing, and we pretty much do the same thing, just that I'm younger Smokey. But,
well, I asked that because after my thing with Elvis, and I went back to Chicago, because I grew up outside of Chicago.
Okay.
He had been playing in, Johnny had been booked at the Stardust, and Elvis was playing at the Hilton. And one thing led to another, but Johnny was brought up to Elvis's suite at the Hilton late one night after the show. And they talked, and Johnny said the profound thing was that, you know, Elvis said, I've slipped in and seen part of your show. And he goes, I'm honored. I think you probably do it better than myself. But he looked at him and he said, but you can't be me.
Yeah.
You have to be yourself.
Yeah.
And Johnny and I had a lot of talks about that. And he goes, how can I be myself when that's the way that I come across?
When he's portraying you.
And I got what he meant because he could sing Kenny Rogers. His Tom Jones was unbelievable. You close your eyes, you swear. And when we worked with the Tom Jones people, it was the same thing. Tom was standing there and go, why I want to work with him when he sings better?
Yeah.
Because of, you know, the age and everything.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, you're great. You're good. I'm not going to help you. And in looking back at it, I understand that thought, but it's hard getting up that ladder. It is painfully hard to get up that ladder.
You know what I thought for years, you know, I'm not Smokey Robinson. I'll never be Smokey Robinson. But I do have the same kind of voice. We've been blessed in the same voice. And I look at my life now as, I know I'll never be as rich as Smokey Robinson. I would love to be. But I look at my life, like I say, like a miracle. And like it's a blessing that I have a voice to touch people. And I sing to people. I've went to hospitals and nursing homes and just sung to people, you know, from the kindness of my heart to touch them because I know this is a gift.
But does it also touch you?
It always touches me.
Okay.
And that's what makes me want to get up and go do it. And I'll be in a grocery store. I'll see a lady in a wheelchair that don't look too happy, and I'll just go over to sing. Well, you've been with me.
Oh,
and
this man sings.
I'll sing.
We'll be standing in
anybody.
line at the buffet to get something, and he'll break into a song.
Yeah, and everybody in the room will turn around and look, you know, and it's just a spirit. My spirit is an uplifting spirit, and I like to uplift other people the way I feel. I want them to feel good.
You never know where the road will take you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and one day we could be sitting in another restaurant, and somebody walk up and hand you a card and go, "I've been looking for you."
Yeah.
Okay, that's how weird life goes.
For those of you who heard that, I accept cards and I'll read them. I won't pick my teeth with them. Just give me one, okay?
But
turn up a lot.
I can't sing. I wish I could, but I've been blessed in many other ways with how I've been able to interact with artists and everybody that I've worked with. Watching you and Sherry Gordy's, the show when you kindly invited us out there. How great! I mean, my wife and I toured with the Temptations, Ray Goodman and Brown, a lot of the R&B groups. We worked with her dad when we were doing the transportation thing, and the difference. It's like we would come off a major rock tour, okay? Then go out with the Manhattans.
Yeah.
All right. The style, just I look at Kevin and go, "Isn't this smooth?" I mean, the audience, it just the difference, but it all comes back down to standing there on the side of the stage, watching them sing "My Girl," doing the dancing. I looked at Kathy. That was before her time, and I go, "You don't get any more into it."
Turn up a little more, Al. Just a pinch.
Sorry about that technical problem with the light.
And for those of you who are listening to the music in the background, that is not Smokey Robinson. That's me singing. All the songs you're hearing is me.
Yeah. I love your music.
Thank you.
I still play your CDs at home.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to pay for the one I gave you.
What do you mean pay for the one? You are.
I'll give you low payments. Act now. You get the DVD.
Beginning stuff right and left. And he calls up and he goes, "I want you to manage me." I don't manage, but you can manage me. I don't manage. I get this all the time. If I could manage, or I really wanted to, then yeah, I would sit down and work a deal. But managing artists is such a pain in the ass.
Well,
because
it depends on the artist too, because you got a lot of artists that are pain in the ass.
Well, you're all pain in the ass, but that's what makes you artists, okay?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, you all have an individual thing about you that make you stand out. And believe me, with all of them that I've worked with, okay? But the commitment to give to one, to go, "I will look after you, I will book you, I will see that you don't get, oh my God." And then every day on the phone, "Where's the gig? Where's the money? Where's this? Where's that?"
Yeah.
Okay? Because it's your life. It's and you need somebody.
Yeah, movie stars same way. They call their agent every day.
Oh my God. That's one industry I wouldn't even want to get involved with.
Yeah.
But I do get it. And you asking me at those times, I was very honored that you thought I could do something like that.
Well, it's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They go together. So you have to have a good promoter if you're a good singer. You can't be half stepping. It has to taste good. It has to look good.
You're a product.
Yeah.
You're a product, and the only way it's going to be sold right is by the right person that knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wish I knew how to do it better.
Well, I know how to do it better.
Well,
we're on internet TV live, right?
Yeah.
All right. My name is Alphonse Franklin. I'm the former lead singer of Miracles, and you can go to my Facebook page, which is Alphonse Franklin, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter. And Alphonse is spelled Alphonse, and then Franklin. And I'm available for booking. So give me a call or leave me a message, and I promise I'll get right back with you. John?
Well, and you can get a hold of me through the page, and I'd be happy to pass on any information they have. He's great to work with, outstanding voice. He's a good friend, but I've watched this man work a room and the ladies, and it is truly a miracle.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, no, I love you, brother. I mean, I appreciate you sticking your neck out going, oh, geez, this could really flop for me.
No,
But
no. One thing about me, I'm not a phony person. I'm one of these people that I came up hard. I grew up in the projects in Chicago, and I know what it means to be down. And I know I'll never forget where I came from. And so I would never treat anybody bad in my life because I know how it feels to be treated bad and how to be down and nobody's there to pick you up. So when I get up just a little bit, enough where I can grab you under your arm and pick you up, that's the way I live. I don't live to go around hurting people or lying to people, saying I'm going to call you and don't call, saying I'm going to be somewhere and don't be there. I treat people the way I want to be treated. And that's how my life stay positive, because I do positive things.
That's rare in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we both know there's a lot of bad things that go on, a lot of lying, misrepresentation.
Yeah.
But you want a good show, call Alphonse, because you will not be disappointed. If there's an agent out there, I vouch for the guy. I've got 40-some years in the industry with all the major people. If I was a booking agent, I would book him, I would manage him. But I don't do that, and I don't want to ruin a friendship, because that was the first thing in my mind. Like, if I do this and I mess up, I'm going to ruin a great friendship.
Well, it happens.
Yeah?
It happens.
But we'll keep plugging along.
Yeah.
Anything else? Oh, what's next?
Well, I told you a little while ago, I'm dealing with this guy, Ray Apodaca, which has the entertainmentsolution.net company, and he's sticking me with a band. And like I said, I'll be doing some shows in California. And for you to keep up with me, all you have to do is go to my Facebook page and Instagram or Twitter. And mainly the Facebook page. I pretty much put everything on there, where I'm going to be, what I'm doing, and new pictures. You'll probably go on there now, you'll see pictures of me, Smokey, Martha Reeves, Brenda Holloway, Wayne Newton, John, and a ton of other celebrities, So, like I say, I'm still out here. I sing old school, and when I do a show, ladies, a lot of times I sing a couple of a cappella songs just to win your heart, Come out in the audience, sit in your lap, give you a flower, and make you feel good. Because you know what, fellas, let me tell you something. Women like kind words and a gentle touch, because it's the little things that mean so much. When you're at home and the lights are low, she wants you to hold her close and say, hey, baby, I love you so. A house is only a house, but when you love somebody, they call it a home. This is where I belong and not to roam. Fellas, if you think I'm trying to misguide you, turn around and ask that woman beside you. She'll tell you. There's nothing that means more to her than a love that she can count on. Can I get an amen, ladies?
Amen.
All right.
Smooth. I'm telling you, smooth. Yeah. Well, with that, my friend, I want to thank you very much.
Hey, it was good.
And he's going to be back many times, and catch his show. Believe me, it's worth it. With that, rock and roll. Here we go. God bless. Have a good day.
Thank you. Peace out.